for the fans. The glory for the pinstripes.
The championship window is open, but one wrong move could slam it shut for good. The move the Yankees are about to make on the trade market could define our destiny for years. Are we looking at a masterstroke or a fatal mistake? Understand the full consequences. Subscribe and turn on notifications. Your direct source from inside the Bronx here. Let's get right to it, because the clock is ticking and our front office is under some serious pressure. We're in the middle of July 2025, and the trade deadline, July 31st, is coming at us like a freight train. Every single one of us, from the bleacher creatures to the suits in the Yankee Stadium offices, knows what our biggest need is. An impact third baseman, a real thumper in the lineup, someone who can change the game with one swing of the bat. And the name on everyone's lips, the main target on Brian Cashman's wish list, is Eugenio Suarez of the Arizona Diamondbacks. However, what looked like an expensive but doable acquisition is quickly turning into an epic negotiation, with a price tag that's skyrocketing with every home run he launches into the stands. The situation is crystal clear. The Yankees need firepower at the hot corner. We've seen inconsistent production from third base, and for a team with World Series aspirations, a maybe just doesn't cut it. We need certainty. We need a guy opposing pitchers are scared to face. Suarez has always been that guy, a player with a proven track record of power, an all-star who can anchor the middle of the lineup. The initial chatter was about what it would take to get him out of Arizona. The Diamondbacks are in a selling position, and Cashman, being the shrewd operator he is, surely started those conversations weeks ago, testing the waters, seeing what the cost would be in prospects. But baseball is a funny, unpredictable game. A player can get so hot that he completely changes the dynamic of a trade. And that's exactly what we're witnessing with Suarez. He's not just hot, he's on a tear, on a level that's rewriting expectations and forcing Cashman to reevaluate just how deep he's willing to dig into our farm system to get his man. The need is obvious, the target is identified. But the cost, my friends, is becoming the huge, frightening question that will define this trade deadline for our Bronx Bombers. And this is where the plot really thickens. Grab your scouting reports and your projection sheets, because the numbers Eugenio Suarez is putting up are just jaw-dropping, and they're sending his price to the moon. According to the hottest intel, straight from insiders like ESPN's Jeff Passan and USA Today's Bob Nightingale, Suarez has become, without a shadow of a doubt, the #1 hitter available on the market. And he's doing everything in his power to earn that spot. Let's talk hard numbers, because they tell the whole story. In the last few weeks, Suarez has gone on an absurd heater. We're talking 4 home runs in the last 2 days of recent games. That pushed his season total to 35 home runs. Yeah, you heard that right, 35? To put that in perspective, that number puts him behind only monsters like Cal Raleigh and our captain Aaron Judge in all of MLB. Think about how rare that is. Bob Nightingale pointed out a mind-blowing historical fact. No player in the history of Major League Baseball has ever been traded mid-season after already hitting the 35-homer mark. Eugenio Suarez could very well be the first, and that alone tells you how valuable he's become. Since June 1st, he leads all of the major leagues with 20 home runs. 20! That's not just a hot streak, that's complete and utter domination. He's carrying the Diamondbacks' offense and at the same time jacking up his own trade price with every single swing. What does this mean for Brian Cashman and the Yanks? It means the leverage has completely shifted. If the Yankees could negotiate from a position of strength before, now it's the Diamondbacks who are holding all the cards. They have an asset who is at his absolute peak value, a player who isn't just an upgrade, but a potential championship piece for any team that gets him. They can and they will ask for a king's ransom. They're gonna demand our best prospects, those names that we fans follow and dream of seeing shine in the Bronx. The trade that might have cost a top 20 prospect and 1 or 2 second-tier names now likely starts with a top 5 name in our organization, plus more. The aggression Nightingale mentioned is no longer an option, it's a necessity. If we want Suarez, we're gonna have to pay a price that could hurt in the short and long term, giving up a significant piece of our future. Faced with this scenario of an inflated price for Eugenio Suarez, The question echoing through the halls of Yankee Stadium is, what's plan B? Brian Cashman is known for never putting all his eggs in one basket, and that's why other avenues are being explored. If the cost for Suarez becomes prohibitive, if the Diamondbacks demand a package that would simply gut our farm system in an irresponsible way, the Yankees have to have alternatives. And a very interesting alternative, according to reports from sources like Buster Olney and Jorge Castillo at ESPN, goes by the name of Ryan McMahon from the Colorado Rockies. McMahon presents a different profile from Suarez, but one that's equally attractive for other reasons. While Suarez is the raw power, a right-handed slugger who lives and dies by the home run, McMahon is a left-handed third baseman with elite Gold Glove caliber defense and a solid bat that offers a more balanced approach. He isn't going to hit you 45 homers, but he's going to save you runs with his glove, he's going to give you good at-bats, and he still has enough pop to put the ball in the seats, especially with the short porch at Yankee Stadium. The dynamic of a trade for McMahon would also be different. The Rockies, historically reluctant to deal their core players, seem to be more open to offers this year. They're ready to make moves, which means the price, while still significant, might not reach the stratospheric levels of Suarez. On top of that, competition could be a huge factor. The Seattle Mariners are also desperate for an offensive upgrade and have Suarez at the top of their list. The perception is that they have more payroll flexibility to spend at this deadline, which could lead them to take on Suarez's salary more easily or to outbid us in prospects. A bidding war with a desperate rival is a dangerous scenario. Therefore, Cashman's analysis has to be deep. What does the team need more? The overwhelming power of Suarez, who can carry the offense for weeks, but at a massive cost in young talent, or the combination of elite defense, a left-handed bat, and a potentially lower cost in McMahon. This is the strategic crossroads. Trading for Suarez is betting it all on offense. Trading for McMahon improves the team on both sides of the ball. The decision will come down to how the front office evaluates our current roster and which piece they believe fits best for a run in October. So here we are, Bronx Bombers, on the verge of a decision that could define the fate of our 2025 season. The situation is as clear as day. On one side, we have Eugenio Suarez, a monster at the plate who is having a historic season, a player who represents the ultimate, immediate solution to our power outage at third base. He's the kind of acquisition that sends a message to the entire league. The evil empire is here, and we're playing for all the marbles. However, that acquisition comes with a monumental price tag, potentially requiring the sacrifice of elite prospects who are the future of this organization. On the other side, we have the pragmatic, smart alternative, Ryan McMahon, a spectacular defender, a left-handed hitter who would bring balance to our lineup and who would likely cost a smaller slice of our valuable farm system. McMahon isn't the flashy headline that Suarez would be, but he could be the savvier play, strengthening the team in a more complete and sustainable way. The choice between these two players is a microcosm of the dilemma Brian Cashman faces every year. How much of the future are you willing to risk for the present? Paying the price for Suarez is a high-risk, high-reward gamble. If he keeps hitting like this and carries us to the World Series, nobody will remember the prospects we gave up. He'll be a legend, but if he goes cold, or if the prospects we trade become stars elsewhere, the deal will be remembered for years as a costly mistake. McMahon is the safer bet, a clear upgrade that doesn't compromise the future as drastically. Now, I want to hear from you, the real Yanks Nation, the fans who live and breathe Yankee baseball every single day. If you were in Brian Cashman's shoes, what's your move? Do you go all in on Eugenio Suarez, paying whatever it takes to bring that elite power to the Bronx? Or do you take the more balanced approach with Ryan McMahon, improving the defense and the lineup without gutting the farm? This is the decision that could put us on the path to our 28th title. Drop your comments below. I want to see the debate. I want to hear your arguments. And if you want to stay ahead of all the exclusive Yankees news and analysis, make sure you subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. I promise to bring you the fastest information and the deepest analysis you won't find anywhere else. The smoke has finally cleared, Yanks Nation, and the decision has been made. Sources from inside the organization have just confirmed. Brian Cashman has pulled the trigger. The New York Yankees have made their big splash for the 2025 season, and the deal is done. Eugenio Suarez is a New York Yankee. The negotiation, which dragged on for weeks with escalating intensity, was finalized in a package that, as we feared, was extremely costly. To bring Suarez's firepower to the Bronx, we had to part with a significant piece of our future. The package heading to Arizona, from what I'm told, is centered around Spencer Jones, our top outfield prospect, and a talent many saw as a future star in our outfield, along with the high-ceiling pitcher Chase Hampton. There were other smaller pieces involved to sweeten the pot, but the message is clear. The cost was steep. Cashman and the front office are declaring with no room for doubt that the time to win is right now. They looked at our roster, at the prime years of players like Aaron Judge and Juan Soto, and decided that the best chance to capture title number 28 is in the coming months, not the coming years. It's a World Series or bust philosophy. The arrival of Suarez instantly transforms our lineup. Picture the batting order come October. One elite bat after another, giving opposing pitchers absolutely no room to breathe. He isn't just another hitter, he's the missing piece of intimidation, protecting our other sluggers and making our offense the most feared in baseball. However, we can't ignore the bittersweet feeling. It hurts to see young talents like Jones and Hampton go. We watched them develop in our system. We dreamed of their futures in pinstripes. But this is the price of competing at the highest level. The pressure now shifts. It's no longer about if we'll make a trade, but about the results that this trade will bring. The pressure is on Eugenio Suarez's shoulders to be the catalyst we expect. And it's on the entire organization to turn this bold gamble into a ticker tape parade in November. There are no more excuses. The time is now.